momentum. Let's see how we can take that in towards this final Orangle. And talk about the final Orangle, it is coming in now. Plane is coming in. We have a west up towards the northeast. And actually, do you know what? It does favour that sort of northwest side here, Bard. Let's see. Will Just Play be able to put another good performance on the board?
Yeah, I will say that that is a very tough act to follow. No matter who you are, no matter what, yeah, no matter what team trying to follow that act, 22 kills, I think, or 22 points, I think that's one of the highest, if not the highest points that we've seen in APL so far. I know a couple of the teams, I remember they got 10 kills, 11 kills. I don't know if they got 12 or more kills, but if so, it was only like once or twice. So again, ClownCar, looking at them because they, I, I think they barely didn't break 100 points. But between them and the rest of the teams, I just can't wait. Again, so Just Play, super well done. Very proud of you guys. Sociopath, I would still love to see that VSS, but that's just me. And I know that we're probably not going to be able to see it for the rest of the night, but it makes me sad, man. It makes me sad.
It is a hard one to follow, though. Plane is done and dusted. We're just waiting for the zone to pop out. But it's possible. These teams, though, Just Play are sending it through as they are trying to get through and down for the hard spawn cards. You can see tilt down the same location for them as they push down towards that sort of shelter. Couple of seconds, I say 5 seconds left on the board, and that zone should pop here on that left hand side of your screen and give away. And that there is
Oh
a
my gosh.
horrid zone for these teams, because teams that came late on that plane will be suffering, and they got to think about these rotations. And this is a great example. Just Play landed, I'd say, a later jumper, not the latest, but now got to figure out actually what they want to do, because the zone is all the way back on that southwest corner.
Dude, that circle, no one wants to see that except for Forge, maybe Collector and ADR. ADR would take that one too. But I do have the updated leaderboard, and I want to say they are in 7th place. Just Play 39 points, 2 points above Tilt Town. But Tilt Town and Just Play,
That's a context curse right
such
there,
high
mate.
hopes, man.
That's a context curse right there. I'm sorry.
I know. It makes me sad, man.
Oh.
Just Play, I'm sorry. I'll take the blame for that one.
And this is the difference
Come on,
now
man.
between scrims and practicing and getting away with taking drop spawns, and then obviously having the ability. These guys jumped for the car, they went straight for their shack, they picked up the pistol, and they just tucked in free. Just Play, putting themselves up in 7th place with a +8, have now got to put a good shift on the board with a solo player now, and have got to shift the zone, and hasn't got a vehicle.
I will say we have seen. I hate calling them rats. I prefer calling them snakes because it doesn't feel quite as mean calling them that. We have seen some teams go down to just one player and then get top 4. Granted, it happens more on Miramar than Erangel, I would say, but it is possible. So if he makes a great call, goes into like a shack or something kind of near Forged, I think he could squeak in maybe some placement points. But again, having 2 games back to, or having a game with 22 points and a game with 0 points, all things considered, I think they'd actually take it. But again, update on ClownCar, they're at 97 points. So they got 3 kill points from the last game, no placement points. They probably aren't very happy with that, but there's almost no way that they're not hitting 100 points in this game, especially with the way they've been playing recently.
There's a couple of gaps on the leaderboard as well, which we will have a chat about, because yeah, the top 1, 2, and 3, they've not shifted really. We've not seen them take away from the losing the first, losing the second, or losing the third. But the rest of the leaderboard, though, is trying to hold on. That 4th, 5th, and 6th is really trying to chase around that 50-point mark. They're trying to get to their 70s, that breaching point, to get into 3rd place. But yeah, big play here from Just Play. Talk about other big plays now. The teams have to rotate themselves in. The southwest zone is never great. Quarry is going to be the interesting one. But for me, I call it Llama Bard, but this sort of section here for Llama. Some people call it horse, and obviously I do throw people because I call this the snowmobile out on this side here, which we went through last stream. I fear for these type of zones because teams go up Llama really quickly, and actually they are some of the teams that go out really quick as well. I think Llama for me is about timing. What time do you take up? But the IGL's be looking at this zone and going, hey, there's a lot of water in the south. There's a lot of water on that southwest corner and on the west. Where the hell is this zone going to go? Is our Everest going to be a subject that is going to magnetize the zone to come back towards that Gatka field? We have seen it before, or we see teams feel a bit more safer on that high ground in Llama. I think this is one to watch those rotations.
So I personally actually like full tilt and where they're at. I think that that's a more common place for this to end. I really do love that compound. I love that compound so much. I think it's very strong. I think it's very safe, and especially if you're a team like Full Tilt, hasn't done well. I'll be 100% honest. Hasn't gotten a ton of kills. Hasn't gotten a lot of placement points. Given a couple of circles going your way, sure, this compound could actually give you just straight up give you 5-6 points easy. So I love their position on that one, but I do actually want to draw your attention back to what you call llama. And the reason why is, are you a Pokemon person? Have you played
I was
Pokemon?
early doors Pokemon, but I'm a bit older now, so I don't know these new school Pokemon stuff, mate. So if you're gonna throw me some new stuff that ain't Pikachu or Charizard, man, I don't know.
So I'm not huge into Pokemon. I know very little about it. A lot of people are probably gonna get mad at me, but when I saw that, I actually thought it was looked like an Eevee. I'm not gonna lie. I thought
Whoa.
it looked like a Glaceon, I think, but a crash coming in from elusive onto full tilt, and full tilt only have 2 here, so this could spell disaster for them.
This is the question now. Do full two? They went for a 2-2 split. Did they record a two that extended out to take that quarry section, or did these two give up? It looks like the call is to give up on the compound now, as it is a bit tough to hold, and they just deploy smokes out as a borderline distraction, maybe to slow down elusive, trying to push in towards that two stack. It might give them enough time just to sort of give away. And actually, look at this full tilt though. Actually repositioning across for another 2-2 split now, as they have given up, I suppose, their primary compound now for more of a west approach on this sort of quarry side.
Personally, I would have loved to see full tilts fully compress onto that compound and fight elusive. I understand the thought process of why not, but again, it's the confidence. The confidence that we see in the teams doing really well just isn't there for full tilts, which again is totally understandable. But for me, it's one of those at some point stand your ground, just fight it out. Again, no offense to them. I'm sure they're great, like they're good players, don't get me wrong. It's a style of play that I personally prefer.
You
So
can't offend anyone as long as we're not rude to people. Remember, we have our thoughts and feelings and our observing, um, which is everything that we produce out as casters. Some of the times it's right. Most of the time we give them commentators curse.
yeah.
Um, for
I would
me,
just play.
for full tilt, you got to remember these teams had some time to scrim, and obviously they have been part of scrimming before. But we had that test
Yeah.
stream where these teams kind of had a sneaky peek before APL kicked off, and Full Tilt weren't available for that. Well, not they weren't part of the roster, were they? Obviously, washed up there
Yeah.
with their roster folding due to commitments, etc. These guys came in. Is it a subject because they don't have the depth of practice that the rest of the teams had with each other for APL? Not excluding obviously the
Yeah.
normal scrims. Maybe it's just they just need to find their rhythm. But it is a 4 day, and we just saw Just Play's outstanding game. I know we mentioned it again. Full Tilt just need to have a couple of them now to get them back into the swing bat.
True. True. Not gonna disagree with that because I fully agree with it. But Collector, I think they have a very aggressive split here. Actually, they have 2 at the Wizard Tower that I feel like everyone fights over. I don't know about EU, but it feels like in NA at least, it feels like everyone fights over that Wizard Tower.
Oh,
So they also have the compound southwest of Chopsticks, and I think it's going to work out for them for Circle 1, but especially if Circle does head over to this Wizard Tower, I feel like they might regret this decision again, as it's usually very highly contested.
this is one of my favorite places. So when I was playing back, I say competition, I played in console,
Hmm.
high performance land. That's where our drop zone was. And we could always extend out towards this side for these style of zones because you can capture a lot of teams rotating in on this east hand side quite easily across the Gatka field. Yes, it does have some hills and crevices across Gatka, but these two here are going to be able to harvest so much information like that. There's a team now in Gatka. They know they can tick that one off. Gatka has a team in it. So if the zone shifts away, expect a rotation to come this neck of the woods. If it goes back that way, they know not to crash in. Where some of the teams around that quarry, they haven't got the harvest of information this sort of 2-2 split is going to be producing on this northeast section of the zone.
Yeah, as how do I say this? Hypothetically, I totally understand why this place is very strong. Why playing this Wizard Tower provides so much information. It can really give you a lot of insight into what's going around in the circle. For me personally, again, just when I play the game, I absolutely hate that. But oh my gosh, the circle shift goes straight to full tilt's favor and monkey business. And I cannot wait for this game to get
This
going.
has so much water remaining in, and Just Play was under a bit of pressure now as he is scarpering across the zone. But this east side of the zone is not going to be great. He has to think about how he comes in on this one. Looks like he's going for that south path, but look at the amount of teams that we've got in.
Mm.
Surely teams are going to try now holding the outside, even who are sitting on the outside now. They need to think about going in. There's teams that are literally leapfrogging each other to get themselves in onto zone at the moment.
I'm thinking if I was W, what would I do?
Pray,
And I think
pray for a good zone shift after this one.
I would try to actually silent pull up into the edge of Corey and just backfill Forged, I think. But what it takes in Tilt Town, going at it. Lucid is down. Kara's down from Tilt Town, and the rest of Tilt Town is nowhere to be found. They are actually west of Fairy Pier, so I think Joshi might take it down, and Tilt Town is going to play the rest of this as a two-man.
They've got it now. It's just a bit too far away. What it takes, though, I think, hold a very, very strong area. They just got to get settled again. I think you could pull back to their neck of the woods here. They just got to ensure that we don't see High Performance pressurize them, because High Performance will soon realize they're in the middle of a lot of action, and with these smokes and the kill feed, they need to then get involved in this quickly. They're doing the right thing now. They're making the aggressive play. Vegas, though, is leading that way here as he's the first out of the car. Nade has been cooked up and over the top, though. Going to go straight in towards that smoke. Goes backside, gets some splash damage. Doesn't get the re-knock, unfortunately. Stinktown is on the inside there. But look at the nades are just raining in. There it comes. High performance, delivering some high performance util there as it lit those streams, those tracer rounds are taking up most of the screen.
Did someone order a red zone? Because that is what High Performance is doing here. What it takes now. So many of them going it down, but Morin's getting one. Can he get another? No, he can't. And now it's a 2v2, actually. What it takes. Can you pull this one out? MEG, it's a 1v1, and High Performance goes down and out. The very aggressive play ended up not working out for them. They did get 2 kills, I think, off of that, but Morins and Lucid, what a hold, dude. What a hold.
Morins, for me, was the game changer now. Lucid, though, did get the knocks where critically needed, but with Morins being out in such a random location, High Performance just checked it off as they crashed up and said, no, they must be in the smoke. Util. It just covered the screen, those red trace around from that util. And they just kind of, not dropped the ball was the wrong terminology, but they just didn't even check off that there could be a rogue player, and it just came like that was a critical knock. It happened well. War is down here. Jinx, after that last game, had a 2 3-man pack here. Let's see if he's dialed in for this one. He's making the push. War, I believe, has been picked up now as Forge refusing to leave a man down.
Nice. I like that.
This is such a good feature to PUBG. It's quite late that came in. I would say it's a recent update. It's not quite recent anymore, but a nice addition, and actually does change the dynamic where you normally would expect the down player to be in that same location. We are seeing Forge use it to its full advantage and actually do pick up the player. War back in the game now.
Oh my god.
That zone's gone again, hasn't it? How bad?
That zone.
How bad? Oh my god, that is bad.
I'm sorry, I know that there's a fight coming out here, but I'm also looking at Duffy too. I hope he stays alive, man. But Hartford, who's Forged, oh, he goes down. Bummer. He has to curse them, I guess. But Forged, can they keep this hold? The shotgun is there. Beautiful shots from Triple. Now it's just a 2-man up from Hartford, who's War. Oh my gosh, those are some really good nades. Gets another one. And now it's just Tabledo who is up.
Drop shot, baby.
And he's... Oh.
Drop shot, boy. Yes, lads. That's what you want to see. Drop shot. Oh, that could have gone either way. Those nades, though, were hitting that sort of the rim of the door, and it just wasn't kind of bouncing the way he wanted. But let's go back that zone. That zone is horrible. Luck, though, trying to defer. ClownCar's crash, though. ClownCar able to get in. Util now coming up. He does get one. And that nade from his own player finishes him off as well. Unfortunately, unable to hit that roof, though. Secondary nades go through as they do it. Catch it, though. Good nade, though. That's follow. He's going to go down. You have to really focus this one, but this zone, these guys are not in zone here. Do you just give it up? That confirms happened. You go, actually, do you know what? Maybe hold out. Maybe we know ClownCar's in front. Maybe we can just tab them out early because we've got 12 teams still up here.
The problem is, where do you go?
This is horrible. This is not the normal algorithm.
There's only one spot in Circle that's not really okay, maybe two, but Forged and Funny Businesses, they're going to take those spots. So ClownCar and Luck Equation and Monkey Business, I would say, because I don't think they have any cover there really from Trashtical 8. So many teams still have to make it in, and I would not want to be an IGL for any of this. This feels horrible to me.
I actually really like what Monkey Business are doing. I also like what Luck are doing as well. They're trying to be creative. They're getting the car in place to get up on the roof to just not punish ClownCar coming in, but with Monkey Business though, not giving them that freedom of movement. They've got to keep the car safe. They've got to think about where they go. You can see him scouting out. I think it looks like the call's going to be going towards that shack now. They've got to beat ClownCar. They're both getting the cars at the same time. I would not be surprised if both these teams are pushing for the same location now. Honey Badger might get there first. Oh, he goes past it. And Luck, though, think he is stopping there. Honey Badger, though, leading the way as ClownCar go full send.
Oh my
They're going to
gosh.
take the compound or the little shack, though, just below. Actually, no, they go all the way. Trashtical's got to deal with this. ClownCar, I think, are a bit too close for them. That's a dangerous spot there. They're going to lay low. Monkey Business, Trashticals, if they continue to fight, ClownCar will just be able to maybe farm some kills in the middle there.
That is actually amazing.
That's a good rotation.
Honey Badger, what a call. I never knew that was going to be a pretty good spot. But now, new Circle, these teams can breathe a sigh of relief. Well, most of them.
Mate,
You know,
being PUBG
but,
at best, right? It's phase 4 and we still have water in. That is not normal. Collector, though, collecting a knock, though. This is though losing one. Knocks in the swamp, though. The swamp is always quite hard. It becomes these sort of angles here. Collector, though, with that 2-2 split, able to get the angles, and there is nowhere for the guys to fight it out. They've got to go hard. Hell or leather, down to a 1-on-1. Babler, though, with the push forward, he's going to come up and over. He actually goes for the Thirsty Thursday, nearly going down and out, down to a 2-shot, able to flip over to the player and able to tuck out. Elusive, though, they do tap out. 11 teams now remain. It is a horrible, horrible zone. We had this yesterday as well.
yeah, poor DStem. He is the last one up from Reddit Allstars. Babbler is also the last one up from Collector. And at this point, if full tilts have actually been paying attention to the kill feed, this is the part that I actually really wish that they would flex out. This is a time when they can be confident because they know that, well, again, depending on if they were paying attention to the kill feed, they should know that their two teams over there are down pretty low. And
I
would really like that from them.
Close.
But
That was close.
yeah, this is such a rough spot for Monkey Business, though, man.
Monkey Business out.
Shot in the back, shot from above.
Got no other option. This zone is subject to this. They've just got to, unfortunately, suck it up and try and punch a hole through Trashticals here. Lucky enough for them, Luck he's taken on ClownCar, so that's going to relieve a little bit of pressure, though. As we do see in the back of our screen, though, this needs to get in. Monkey Business, though, trying to work their way around. Knock does come through, though. They're going to continue. Cowboy, though, he does go down. Final player now for Monkey Business. Has to redivert his attention. And Luck, though, not focusing back on ClownCar. Actually getting the final knock, though, down. Monkey Business, though, 11th, mate. Phase 4. This is mad.
Especially with the Circle. The fact that 11 teams were up for this long, 10 teams even, still really well done by them. But ClownCar somehow are actually still in a decent spot from where they were from before. I'm amazed that they were able to make it this far. So congratulations to them for finding something out of nothing, quite literally. But I really want Full Tilt to actually flex out, man. This is the time that I think that they should be able to shine and take that northeast side completely over. Because again, they're only 2 up from what it takes. I think they're 3 up from Forged, maybe 4. But Babbler's a solo, D-Stem's a solo, and they have a very strong ridge, actually. But what it takes now, wanting D-Stem, wanting that kill, and smoking it out, which I like. I think that's a good call. And Lucy's going to take out D-Stem.
It was pre-already. Let's assume he knew he was there, but even if he didn't, it was a good nade and push, though. Let's remember ourselves, though, back to where we started here. Full Tilt was the team of focus on this sort of neck of the woods, though, very, very early on. And look at that. They managed to go for that 2-2 split. They gave up the compound to Elusive, who did crash it in. And they pushed, eventually took, remember that secondary 2-2 split, though. There's a second compound now. Now that compound is one of the only remaining compounds, or I think one or two that is now in this zone. And for them, it's got to be more about actually how do they get out of this compound up the hill. I think they could have a good game. I feel like I might just commentate custom. I shouldn't have said that.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the map, just trying to watch Trashtical 8. I think they're going to take down ClownCar here, which is unfortunate, but it happens. You know, it feels inevitable. Forge, though, going down by a beautiful nade from Bunt. And now Funny Business are going to overtake that spot.
That molly was shot out of the air, and then they actually tabbed in. ClownCar, though, are now aggressively pushing. I think they have to fight their way out. The anchor point, though, is causing huge issues. Final player now for ClownCar, 4 kills on the board. Needs to get in, doesn't really have a wrap. Only got util. No smokes remain on that util list at all. Nade and mollies. Yeah, and he's actually got the knocks in front, so should be able to maybe take the fight with a one-on-one and maybe sit the res. Oh, he's actually picked up the adjacent util, goes for that fight. Oh my god, does whip out on the left-hand side of that tree bar, then puts her on the right-hand side. And the player's just pre-fire on that right-hand side, loses his player. Jeez.
Wow, I can't believe he's alive from that. Again, it feels just like every single turn, ClownCar just exceeded my expectations. And I think, I was going to say, I thought he would have taken the shack and tried to live, but no, he likes to be more aggressive than that. And I shouldn't say anything, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they got the strength for this side. They got the little hills and crevices. ADR, though, who have been sitting here for some time, taking this compound early doors. Cars are pretty much safe, though. They're able to rotate if it does shift away. What it takes, though, did take what it takes to take this shack away. Funny Business, though, they're in a good position for me, but they're on this sort of southeast corner, and they've got this hillside. They can play north or south of this hill. They've got to be cautious, though. They don't get caught in the middle and actually receiving a bit of punishment. For me, they need to be focusing this north side. Maybe if Full Tilt lose the next zone, they've got to maybe hold. Do you know what? There's a team here. Let's stop them coming out, but keep our backs protected from anyone on that sort of west-hand side of the zone.
Yeah, now again, I see that Party is kind of flexing out a little bit, but Babbler... No way Babbler gets Party, does he?
Look at this. Babbler is coming in. He is actually coming in behind. He's going to get that one-on-one fight he wants. They've heard each other.
This could change everything right now.
He's heard him. Nade is cooked. Nade's good. Oh, gets the splash damage.
Oh my gosh.
Babbler, though, now knows he's exposed. Zone shift does come back to that neck of the woods again. So Full Tilt don't have to leave the compound. 16 players up. Babbler, you got to think, do you go forward or do you go back? If he goes back, he's got the shack just on that north side of the zone. Yep. But can he get back? I feel maybe be able to disengage from this one, push himself back up and around, but it's a hard play to get back into the zone.
I think, well, I personally would recommend 100% backing off and just going for that shack. I think, again, it's the battle of the solos at this point. Just trying to be the last solo alive, get as many points as possible. And Zenny, dude, he is in the middle of zone. He is pushing. What is he pushing? I don't know. What is... I don't understand, but I love it regardless of whatever it is.
This is not a bad strat, if I'm honest with you, because he's going to be low. Hopefully the teams up high will take a fight with the teams down low, and he's just sitting there with that car in the middle. What it takes once they come out might see him, but that car is on his left-hand side. You kind of would expect that you're going to see fights around him, and if he can lay low and keep his head down, he might get away with it. But it's ClownCar. They like to be aggressive. You kind of feel like the moment the gunshots start happening around him, he's going to try and get up on his feet and try and get as many kills as he can. As they want to get themselves, I think they will be putting themselves now in towards that double digits. They should be breaching over that 100 mark.
Yeah, no, especially, yeah, with placement points, they're 100% past the 100 mark point. But it's ClownCar. I should expect them to be aggro no matter what. But I think the question is up to ADR. They actually could flex out. Can they flex out to the west? I think there's enough of a dip that they might be able to. I'm not entirely sure.
There is, yeah. There's a
but I think that might be the play.
Northwest corner of that map,
yeah.
You see, where that's
exactly.
around. There's a hill crest that they could push themselves into. But do they know who's over there? That's the big question. So it's a risk if they push themselves over there and they don't know a team's there. And if there was a team there, obviously we're lucky enough we don't see them. You see it's clear for them. It actually would cause them huge issues because they're going to have to use the cars to make car forts, and then they've got to deal with the momentum. I kind of feel like they might take the safety, maybe just take that hill just in front of him, and then scout over. So maybe not this zone, maybe the zone after. It looks like they are extending, so the scout will be coming out now for them. And so, yeah, this is it. They haven't got the information. They're just double checking it. It will be clear for them.
I know I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. But Full Tilt really need to push out of the compound by now. If they don't do it right now, or in the next, I don't know, minute or two, Funny Business is going to be all over them. They're going to be on that hill, and as soon as they try to push out, they're going to get absolutely gunned down. And I understand the want to stay in there, but I think that they have given up a lot of their pressure because they just decide to stay in for so long.
Pablo now receiving the shots. They do pick him up, so he's have to focus his way back. And yeah, you're right. The zone shift though coming away from them. Surely now this is the invitation that they need to get out. Have they left it too late? I think is what you're implying. I fear that they are maybe if they don't move in the next couple of minutes, they're going to get caught. They've got to make sure they don't drop the ball though on this north side. They know there's a player there, so it looks like they are going to control this one out. They might cut the compound and wrap north and then play in the adjacent side. Collect sixth place, goes down and out, doesn't get the knock needed. That should then give them enough of a momentum shift into this corner. I think that is well timed from them, but it could have gone half a second later. Could have been a bit of an issue as Funny Business try and close the door on them as well.
Yeah, I think Funny Business, they have a better zone here, or not zone, but they have better cover. And actually, no, they are in zone, so I definitely will give it to them. But never mind Keegan getting taken out by Selfless with the Bolty, and I think he's been rocking the Bolty every single game so far. So love to see it from him. And Bunt is going into the abyss of smoke to see what he can find to try and take out one or two maybe. And do you like this play of him staying in the smoke? Oh, never mind.
I think it's more of a sound cue. He gets one, does receive the pressure from behind. And look at this, we bring back the smokes though. Now just working their way around though. Full tilt. Dialing themselves. They've lost two now. But continue to try. And the molly does hit that tree. Doesn't quite get exactly where it is. He's just shy of it now. And they are trying to work out what it takes. Goes out in fifth place. Full tilt out down to their final players. It's a 1-on-1 on this side though. Does get the knock that's needed. Unfortunately though, Funny Business though, a bit further back here, should get the confirms where needed, has to focus his attention though. Deal comes in, and actually no, not Deal, it is Deal, sorry. Does actually finally get the final player there. Full tilt though, could have gone either way. I feel like a bit of a mad ending as ADR now, who have the driving seat, got 4 up. They're 4 on 2. Surely they're going to close this one out quickly. 4 kills on the board. They've been laying in the compound. Funny Business though, 11 on the board for them. And even if they tab themselves out of this game, that there is a very, very good game. And again, continuing to ensure they don't allow ClownCar too far away. I'd actually hazard a guess that they might even be overtaking them, especially from a kill point of view. We'll have to wait and see.
I kind of doubt it, but still, really good play from them. They got 11 kills. ClownCar, I think they got maybe 5, but they got around 5. They got 4th place. Not too bad, but we went from 5 teams down to 2 in like milliseconds, it felt like. But ADR has absolute control over this entire circle. And if you put a house on a bet, you would want to put it on this one that ADR would win, because no offense to Funny Business, but they're going to have no cover when they push out. They have to get into zone.
They're going to get a car, mate. They're going to go for a huge wrap, mate. It's the only
There's no
play.
way that they can make this through, right?
But I'd hope so.
Because once they make it in, they're going to get absolutely battered, right?
But they know there's only one player on the other side. He scouted it, so they're going to take this 2-on-1 fight. This is what it's about. Oh my gosh. Oh, they don't get the knock. Now that's a downside for them. Then goes on for a 1-on-1 here. I think you're right. Surely the money's going to go with ADR here. That could have gone either way. They needed that critical knock though. Flash comes out, pushes himself off the tree, needs to try and get the knock, doesn't quite get it. Oh my god, ADR is just surviving. Like Superman though, and they do close it down and out when a chicken dinner. It's only a 16-point game, but massive shout for Funny Business though. No funny rotations. Generally speaking on that one, I just saw him standing by that car, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I was like, he's going to get in that car, mate, and he's going to rotate run. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, they didn't get that knock that they needed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good play by ADR. It was a great thought by Funny Business, but again, they just couldn't quite clutch that out. So really good attempt by them. I mean, they saw a way through that I didn't. So kudos to them. I just did not see that, but love to see it. But that is going to be it for Erangel. So what do we have next?
Well, before we take the quick break, and it will be a slight break where the teams get to have a chat to their captains, have a chat to their coaches, they reset themselves, though, we are going to go across and have a 5 to 10 minute break. And before that, though, we will go through our action replays before we go out to our sponsors and our videos. When we join back, though, it will be the final 3 games for this week number 1 of 2, and it is going to be Miramar, and we saw some crazy plays. So sit back, relax. It's your time to go get yourself a drink. Share it out on Twitter. Don't forget, though, APL in chat gets you the links for their Twitter account and the Discord if you want to get your team involved. But before now, let's take a quick break, and I'll see all you guys for Miramar shortly.